a high drive to right. It is out of here.
Hey, welcome everybody to another glorious episode of the Put on Giants podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, and as always, I am podcasting off the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. A beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSP, that's my Twitter handle. So check me out there. Put on waivers _ podcast. That's put on waivers _ podcast. Is he hit me up on Instagram, talk about the Giants, talk about anything baseball, NL West related. So the Giants win 6-5. Could have been 6-3. Camino Duvall got to do his thing in the ninth inning and give up a 2-run homer. But they came back. They fought in the extra innings. They were able to win that game. Jung Lee had a huge game. They had, I think they had 12 hits in the game. They had threats on base, people on base all day. They came through. Devers came through with an RBI single. So hopefully the offensive output continues. I thought Landon Roop did a great job through 4 innings. In the 5th inning, he kind of lost his control, walked some people, helped them get back in the game. D-backs get back in the game, but Eric Miller came in and just shut the door. Did a great job. So did Randy Rodriguez, and then also you had Tyler Rogers come in, did a good job. But then again, we got to figure out what we're going to do in the closer spot. We all kind of picture Randy as a future closer of the Giants, but the one opportunity he had in Colorado, he blew that game too. So I think it's the pressure of the 9th inning the Giants have to get over. We'll see, but through this bad stretch of baseball where they lost 10 out of their last 15 games. There's some dead spots. What seems to be working is when players get a day off, they have seemed to respond physically. So whether it was earlier in the season when they finally gave Adames a day off, he responded offensively. Lee most recently, day off, responded offensively, and then you had Helio Ramos who would have had a full day off, but had an at bat in the 10th inning, single up the middle to keep an inning alive, move a runner from second to third. Next thing you know, you get that sac fly, and the Giants prevail. So I think the lineup part of it is we got to talk about obviously the whole situation with Bob Melvin and his coaching staff and getting kind of reprieve from management, and then they're basically not going anywhere. So I know that's something that's really a controversial thing for me, for a lot of Giant fans, and we're not. And I think the thing I want people to understand is that we're not anti Bob Melvin, but I do think that there is a situation in your head as a Giant fan where let him prove it. Let him go out there and prove that he deserves to be the manager of the Giants. I don't think there's any reason to. I don't think there's any reason to jump the gun and give him an opportunity to and just automatically re him up for 2026. But I do understand the management part of it is for Posey, he's sitting there saying to himself, "Hey, do you really want to have him be a lame duck coach?" And I could see that point of it too, but sometimes, sometimes you got to put people's feet to the fire. And I would have had no problem with the Giants, with him and Burrow and his coaching staff to say, hey, you guys got to make the playoffs. We have even with all the injuries, even with we're down to the fourth option at third base. No costs. No, no Casey Smith, no Matt Chapman. We're down to Wilmer Flores and Wisely playing third base for the Giants right now. That's how crazy it is right now out there in orange and black land. But again, that's what But they still shown that if they have patience and can get good at bats, they're gonna score runs. They can score runs. They have the ability to score runs without that. you're really just you're really trying to get through this period, into really in that wild card race with um with Chapman being able to come back. And his presence in the lineup, his ability to run in the lineup, his ability to steal bases in the lineup, all those things like that. It obviously it was too bad because both guys, whether it was Chapman or Schmidt, they were hitting the ball, they were killing the ball. So for those guys to be out and be hurt, it stinks, and we all know that it stinks. But hopefully they can get those guys back, and you just want to kind of keep your head above water. So the game this afternoon, obviously. So hopefully they can split the series with Arizona and they don't lose 3 out of 4. And then they have a chance to get right with the A's. The A's, I mean, the Giants have not been good right now against teams that are either at 500 or below 500 because this whole trip has been the Giants not taking, not getting swept by the Marlins, losing 2 out of 3 to the White Sox, possibly losing 3 out of 4. Hopefully hopefully the Giants are able to win that game against the Diamond D-backs later 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 today, and then you have and then you have the series this weekend in Sacramento. So I mean, they got to start winning some series. So this is a good opportunity for them if they can win today, then they're able to go ahead and you know win that series in with the A's and then come home because when they come home, Bryce Harper is sitting there waiting for him. Like it's not like you know it's not it's sometimes the Giants rise up when they play the better teams in their building, but like they're gonna have to because that team is good. That team is good. They're a really good offensive team, and the Phillies are going to be a team that can win the World Series. So in that home, and I think in that same homestand they play the Dodgers too. So it's going to be time. So July has to be much better than June. We'll see if the Giants can take care of that as far as that goes. Bird Song is I think it's I mean it's I don't know if they have an arm that they can bring up. I don't know if they have a guy who they want to put in that spot. But he's getting bombed pretty effectively here. People are just not, whatever it is, he can't get through 5 innings. And that's kind of what the Giants are asking him to do is get through 5 innings. He can't get there right now. Could be just a blip on the radar, or do you think it's gonna be something that's gonna be big be going on for the entire season? They have to kind of find they got to walk that line because right now, I mean, he can't give a good like he can't finish his outings. And it doesn't look good at all. Like it's not like it's errors or um people the team isn't hitting behind him. I mean, he's given up a lot of runs. So, do they have the ability to have him miss a start? People don't usually do bullpen games anymore, and the Giants bullpen is probably taxed as it is, so you probably don't want to do that. But they got to do something. When Harrison was here, I did like the fact that that sometimes those games were just like a Birdsong Harrison game. When Harrison was in the bullpen, but now Harrison is gone, and the Giants have to figure out what they want to do as far as um that spot in the rotation with Harrison. I just don't feel like he's giving them a competitive outing on the mound, and that's something that you can't really have. You can't really have. So um, it was really good because Lee has been scuffling. Lee has been scuffling. So it was great to see Jung Hoo Lee get things going with his bat. He has been tremendous in center field, a plus defender in center field. Like he gets to almost everything in center field. He is phenomenal in center field. Like he's made a bunch of diving catches. He covers a great deal of ground. He's been fun to watch in center field. So if he can just keep the bat alive, and they get a couple of doubles, had a triple in this game. He had everything going on in this game. Three was 3 for 5. You want to see that continue and just get it's not even to me. It's about hits and scoring runs, of course, but it's about competitive quality at bats. We're fans. Like we know that the Giants hitters are not going to get a hit every single time they get up. But if they're giving those quality at bats, we can all live with those all day. You run a count 2-2 and you just miss a fastball, and you hit a ball to a right at an infielder, with nice exit velocity, or you hit a deep ball to center field, right field, left field, and the ball is just on the outskirts or at the warning track. We know, we know what you're trying to do. We know that's an opportunity for you to, to have a quality at bat, hit the ball with authority. That's all we're asking to do. Um, and just not these empty at bats where we're just like swinging at pitches that are in the other batter's box. Like, I mean, that's the thing that we're just, the guesswork hitting. So, hopefully the Giants can continue doing that. Hopefully the Giants can continue to get quality at bats, get people on base, and then obviously even bad offensive teams get runners in scoring position. You got to bring some of those guys home. You got to bring some of those guys home. And I think that some of these guys in this batting order, nobody's unless it's like Adames or Devers, Chapman. Like nobody's immune to the bunt. Like I mean, they had I think Jung Lee had I don't know who it was. I don't remember who was up, but I think Lee had. I think somebody had a leadoff double, and we had three straight nothing at bats, and they couldn't score a run. Nobody even moved the runner over. Like unless you're the from the $30 million club, like a yearly, then you got to get that. You got to lay one down if you have to. Like we had to get that run to third base. We got to get that run home. The Giants need to take care of all these opportunities, and because the pitching staff needs it. I mean, even during this horrible stretch when they've been terrible at the plate, they're still third in ERA. I mean, third in ERA in that situation, like they're even with um the bird song and some of the relievers starting to give up some runs here. It's still a situation where they're in every single game because of this pitching. So the Giants got to do what they have to do at the plate, and that's going to be paramount to their success. So we'll see what happens today. We'll do a show later today after the series. Hopefully the Giants win the series, and we'll talk about that because they kind of you can feel it a little bit from tonight. I think Root gave him a little bit of a little bit of a jolt. The bullpen gave him a little bit of a jolt. Randy Rodriguez is the way he got out of that 2-on nobody out situation first and second was just fantastic. He was great. And then Rogers came in, gave him a home run, but shut the scene down for the most part. And then I don't I guess for this season we just have to live with Camille Duvall. And it's funny because when you look at his numbers, they look really good. But then I think we all know that we're always going to be watching the game with one eye closed when he's on the mound for the Giants, and it shouldn't be that way for a top line closer. All right, put on Giants podcast. See you next time. Peace. Go Giants.
Lee hits a high drive to right. It is